Kawhi Leonard was traded for Demar Derozan in the first round draft pick. Along with Kawhi Leonard came Danny Green. For the Toronto Raptors, this is a huge mistake. Kawhi Leonard has explicitly said that he wants to be a Laker or be in LA, whether it's the Lakers or the Clippers. There's no signs that he will commit to your team. A lot of people are of the notion that Kawhi Leonard is basically going to follow the same path as Paul George, where Paul George hinted at wanting to go at the Lakers, but he eventually stayed with OKC during the free agency period. Well, you can't bet your whole entire situation on a different person in a different situation. A similar situation, but a different situation. Because Kawhi Leonard and Paul George aren't the same kind of person, number one. Number two, they don't have the same people representing them. Number three, there were two different kinds of expressions. Paul George was hinting. Kawhi Leonard explicitly said he doesn't want to go anywhere but Los Angeles. So, right then and there, the Raptors shot themselves in the foot. On top of that, you want to talk about like a loyalty in sports and how Kawhi Leonard felt slighted or whatever the case is. If Kawhi Leonard wanted to stay in a place where he could win and be a contender every year, he would stay in San Antonio. If Kawhi Leonard wanted to stay in a place where he could get the most money, he's going to stay in San Antonio for $200+ million. He's going to go to the Toronto Raptors, who can't offer him a winning culture, number one. It's not a basketball town. Number two, it's not that they could offer him $200+ million. So that's here nor there. So you can't entice him there. The Toronto Raptors, like I said previously, they will have to entice Kawhi Leonard on their potential. And their potential is whack. It's awful. It's awful. They always have a good record. As last season, they were the first in the East, got swept in the semis. You can't sell him on any of that. You can't woo him like Paul George because he's not Paul George. It's not the same person. He's not next to a Russell Westbrook. You'll get him next to Kyle Lowry. Like that's who he's gonna be playing with, guys. So that's out. Masai Ujiri took a huge risk, and to me, this is a big blunder. If I were the Toronto Raptors, I would definitely try to shop him to the Clippers or shop him to the Lakers. Do this now so you don't have to pay for it later. Get you a Josh Hart, get you an Ingram now so you don't have to worry about it in 2019, 2020 summer. Like, honestly, nobody wants to go to Toronto. And this is the sad part. The Toronto Raptors know they're not a destination where free agents go. So why don't you stay with DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry? Just stay with them. LeBron's out of the East. All you have to do is worry about beating the Celtics. Nobody else could possibly beat you but the Celtics. LeBron's not in the East anymore. Why the hell would you trade somebody who basically committed to staying with the Toronto Raptors? DeMar DeRozan was heated. This man went to Instagram talking about, this is not what was told to me. These are not the things. All's going to be revealed. So this is some bad blood, and this is what he was saying in his on his Instagram. Kawhi Leonard is not happy with this trade. Man, this man might possibly sit out the rest of the season. Like, he might say he's not ready to go. So then where do you go? So this is a bad move. San Antonio Spurs made out like a bandit. They got a star. I think DeRozan maybe has 2 years on his contract or something like that. So, I mean, they're in a good spot. They did get rid of Danny Green, but, essentially to me, what this trade looks like is you traded DeMar DeRozan for Danny Green, because you only got Kawhi for a year, and guess what? Kawhi's not staying. So you trade DeMar DeRozan, who's a franchise player, for a role player. Danny Green's not a franchise player, because Kawhi Leonard's not staying there, guys. He made it explicit. It's not like it's a Paul George. This is not the same person. Like, some people, you could be like, oh, like, you can have hope. But Paul George is the outlier. Everybody wants to base everything on the outlier. So, this is kind of the thing, like, with, like, a lot of people when they go to, like, Hollywood or something. They're like, yeah, I'm going to be a star in a year because so-and-so became a star in a year. There's only one so-and-so. There's only one Denzel, only one Will Smith. There's only one you. So you can't put yourself in that same position and then you're going to get the same outcome. Think about all the other free agents that didn't want to be somewhere. They got traded to a place, and then they left afterward. There's 9 out of 10 chance for that to happen as opposed to 1 out of 10 or 1 in 100. You know what I'm saying? So this is a bad move, point blank period. They should have stayed pat. They could have made other trades. They could have just let the East, because the East is worse. The Eastern Conference is worse. They could have let the whole thing fall apart. No. Masai had to go make a bad move. And, this is going to hurt them. If Kawhi leaves, he's getting fired. And he's going to leave. Nobody wants to play in Toronto. That's not a basketball place. DeMar DeRozan was already committed to staying in a place that's not a basketball place. And guess what? You traded the guy. So, now Kawhi it's a double-edged sword. Because he doesn't see any loyalty for your organization, for your stars. He doesn't see you building a solid team. He sees you fire a coach that gets head coach of the year. Come on, and you congratulate him after that. You just look like a complete dummy. And, these moves are going to prove detrimental. They're going to be in the lottery in the next couple of years. After this, they're going to be in the lottery for the next couple of years. Mark my words. This is a bad trade for Toronto. Great trade for San Antonio because you got a star player. And you could plug them in with LaMarcus Aldridge. So that's really great for them. They didn't lose. They lose Kawhi Leonard, but he wasn't staying anyway. So this is a good move for the Spurs. They came out and pulled a rabbit out of the hat. Toronto Raptors, call Lakers, call the Clippers, get them on the phone. Hey, how do we broker a deal? Because obviously he doesn't want to stay. There's no way you're gonna woo him there. Kawhi might even say, man, I'm not good enough to play. Hoops Junction, or Hoops meets Hoopla.